Your rates as a content creator are not static. You don't set them one day and then get handcuffed to them for the rest of your career. In fact, I think the opposite is true, where our rates are actually constantly increasing as time goes on. But how do you know it's time to give yourself a raise? In this video, we're going to do a rapid fire of 5 signs that signal you should probably raise your rates. And here we're talking primarily about your base rate for content creating, whether that's making a reel, a blog post, a YouTube video. Of course, there's a lot of other factors that go into the number that you actually present to the brand, like exclusivity, usage rates, all of that, but that's a topic for another video. So number 1, you increase your value. As a creator, you probably have a good idea of what brands come to you for, i.e. the value that you're offering them. So if you see an increase of some type in that value prop, then it's time to charge more. So specifically, this could look like an increase in your audience size. You have grown significantly from the last time you set a number forward to a brand. If something has happened and you've seen an increase in your audience's trust, you're seeing more engagement, a deeper connection with them. If your content has become more niched, in other words, you have set yourself up as more of an authority on a specific topic. A creator who specializes in skincare and is the go-to source on the topic for their audience is more valuable than somebody who's just dabbling on the topic. The next sign that you should raise your rates is if you see an increase in your quality. This could be if you have developed additional skills that have had a visible positive effect on your content. Maybe you really mastered lighting and your content just looks impeccable now. It's now something that would look right at home on the brand's own feed. Maybe you have invested and learned how to use new camera gear, and your videos are so sharp and your background is so creamy. So random, but I'm wearing my Sam Newton Stay Creamy sweater. All in all, if you are now providing higher quality content to the brand, then you should be charging accordingly. Sign number 3 is that nobody is negotiating with you. This is like the golden rule of setting rates as a creator or influencer. Negotiating is part of the game. The brand is expecting to negotiate with you. And if you are presenting them a number and they take it, no questions asked, that means it is lower than they probably anticipated, and a sign that you could probably ask for more. This is something I even have to remind myself of, because I find that I get really comfortable in my number, and when a brand accepts it, no questions asked, it's just such a relief to not have to deal with all of that back and forth. But I know it's a sign that the brand is probably evaluating me and my content and my value at a higher price point. So I'm selling myself short. Number 4, another sure tail sign that our rates are too low is that we felt it just wasn't worth it. How much we get paid for a campaign can really make or break our experience of it. It's the difference of thinking,
wow, how cool is it that I get paid to create this content that I'm just having so much fun doing?
And I just can't wait for this to be over. I'm not getting paid enough for all of this.
And be careful here, because I'm not talking about a resentment that you felt when you signed up to maybe promote a product that didn't align with your audience or you weren't actually excited about, because then that's something you should be turning the mirror on yourself and saying, why did I feel inclined to take this in the first place? I'm talking about a sort of bitterness that comes up. You really can't help it when you're working on a campaign that by all external markers, you should be enjoying. You love the product. You're so excited to share it with your audience. And you almost find yourself thinking, I'd rather not have gotten paid for this and just share it organically without having to deal with all of these approval processes and everything, because it wasn't worth the stress for this amount. So if you feel that, next time, it's time to increase the rates. And number 5, the 5th sign that it's time to increase your rates. You're overwhelmed with requests. You just simply can't keep up with the amount of asks to collaborate with you. Instead of trying to take on 10 different collabs for $500 each to try to meet your income goal, consider raising your rates towards the $1,000 mark so that you'll only have to take on 5 in order to meet your goal. I know a rate increase of that amount can be incredibly scary, because we think, okay, we're scaring off all these brands, their requests are going to dry up, but it's important to remember that we need to do less work with fewer brands to hit that same target. So if you have a lot of brands wanting to work with you, that's just the nature of them reaching out in a more competitive market. Your rates are going to get a bit more competitive. And this will also help with your sanity, because you just won't be as overworked. If you want a deeper dive into setting rates as an influencer, or you just don't know where to begin in the first place, definitely check this out next. Thanks for watching, and until next time.